Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about why you want to take your pre-workout and toss it in the trash. Now, by the way, that's not a pre-workout. That's my collagen protein. Just need a dramatic effect. Now, why are pre-workouts trash? Well, there's a number of reasons. I'll try and make this video kind of concise so that we don't take up too much time. But what I would say, there's a number of things. And so let's cover some of them. Number one, almost all of them have artificial sweeteners. Now, I know there's different views on artificial sweeteners. Some people are like, well, the FDA says it's safe, and I don't have time to teach you about biochemicals and things like that. However, these are chemicals made in the lab. They're not super safe, especially if they accumulate and you use a lot of them over a long period of time, or they're in a lot of things that you don't know about. So that's number one why I don't like pre-workouts, but you can find pre-workouts that do not have artificial sweeteners. Why are they shit? Well, let me explain. Most pre-workouts, now again, they're not all created equal, but most pre-workouts do not contain enough of the ingredients to actually cause the effect that you're trying to get. For instance, many pre-workouts contain about 1,000 milligrams or 1 gram of creatine. Well, it's shown that you need about 3 to 5 grams of creatine a day to maintain normal levels or to maintain that full loaded amount in the muscle, okay? So 1 gram a day is not going to do it. There are other ingredients in pre-workouts that are very common. One is called beta-alanine. What beta-alanine does is it increases this amino acid called carnosine, and so it's in the muscle. And what that amino acid does is it buffers lactic acid. Now this could potentially, and it has shown some research that it helps prolong your workouts a little bit, give you a little bit more energy in your workouts. I have not seen that result personally, and I think the effect is very minor, although, like I said, there is some research to show it. What people like about this is it gives you this tingly feeling, which actually has nothing to do physiologically with what it's doing with the lactic acid. They're not really sure why that happens. So it gives you the tingles, makes you feel good, makes you feel like something's happening. That's placebo. As far as I'm concerned, placebo is worth pretty much what I have in that trash right now, which is nothing, okay? So what are some other things that you see in pre-workouts? Well, one thing is citrulline malate you'll see in some of these pre-workouts. And what that'll do is it'll increase nitric oxide in the bloodstream. And most nitric oxide products, maybe I'll do another video on that, are pretty much garbage. But citrulline malate does have some promising research as far as increasing nitric oxide. I'm just not convinced that increasing nitric oxide makes a big impact on your muscles and on exercise and on recovery and things of that nature. So that one, the jury is out until proven. We'll see how research accumulates over time. Another thing you find in pre-workouts are branched-chain amino acids. Branched-chain amino acids are some of my favorite. They're excellent for increasing protein synthesis, for recovery, things of that nature, especially leucine, one of the 3 branched-chain amino acids. However, again, oftentimes the amount of branched-chain amino acid in your pre-workout is not enough. And what's another thing they do with pre-workouts? They pack it full of tons of caffeine. Why? Because caffeine is biologically active, whereas a lot of the other stuff they're throwing in there is not biologically active or not in the proper amounts to have biological activity. So they put a bunch of caffeine, makes you feel real good, gives you energy. Caffeine's a stimulant. It will give you energy. Coffee does the same thing. Actually, what I've recommended to people before, instead of taking a pre-workout, if you just want a little boost of energy and to increase muscle endurance, research shows that 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine will help do that. And you can buy little caffeine anhydrous pills, very, very inexpensive online. And again, don't take too many. It's 200 to 400 milligrams a day. Usually one capsule is 200 milligrams, which is equivalent of about 2 cups of coffee. Okay? So again, there's different things you can do. I think spending a lot of money on a product that has a bunch of stuff that's not at proper amounts or not biologically active is not necessarily what we want to do. The other thing is, if it does have the proper amounts, according to research for these types of things, the products that I've seen that have had that are incredibly expensive. And what you have to understand about nutrition and natural products, that I'm a big proponent of natural nutrition, nutrition and natural, remedies and products and things like that, is the effect you get is a very, very small percentage. So for me to spend $60, $70 a month on something that I can just take a couple of the ingredients that actually have a significant effect, I think you can buy a bottle of caffeine anhydrous for probably $6 online. So again, I'm not selling it, but you can find some of these things that are effective. You can find them very inexpensive, find them without all the bullshit and chemicals that they throw in there. Nutrition companies might not like this video when I'm talking about how these pre-workouts don't work. People ask me all the time, what pre-workout should I use? What pre-workout do you recommend? I recommend 0 pre-workouts. If you want, use the caffeine anhydrous pill. I definitely do recommend branched chain amino acids in 5 to 6 grams, either pre-workout, peri-workout, or post-workout. That does have some good research behind it, and it does have some good biological activity. You can get both of those things really inexpensive. The rest of it, I personally think, is a waste of time. You know, if it's really worth it to you to spend $60 to get a little tingly for 15 minutes, I guess you can go ahead and do that. If you have any questions, let me know. Stay strong. I'll see you next time.